Sanchez.
Yeah. I know there's a fact.
Or a better goalkeeper than him. A Brower Bonnie Bibia, Robert Sanchez, Onyam, Andrew. But the moment you bring in, say, open numbers in a day. I want to I go on share. Baby, okay, Kakono. Okay,
and if you say, yeah, numbers, baby. Yeah, show be a brother.
Ona, what's here? I say, they say we show no. Over Bibia, you back it with numbers. Numbers are the numbers. Never, who say I'm shifting goal post? You know, you can't say, to say, man, you are done the environment to be a. Who will be betom say Kim? No problem, Abba.
Look at Nana in Tamil.
And him one say, who does this action your way? Just so.
Mati. Hey,
if you cry, hey, me a sure said within a kumemu. So woman is castle a goalkeepers me no transfer market. Nay, Onana, ne Robert Sanchez, Oberto Onana. But in the situation of Manchester currently, any Chelsea currently, Obia de Beko Obiano, Rich, Obesa Kaka, and Titiasiasana, Yentimi, a movie on. And then Saturday, Saturday, Anna, me type pese, the analysis in the top form. Na more of education. Na observations bi ayaye na ye de faso sua de na ye hu nyoma ekoso entienne what I am going to do in my next few minutes am no and they say transfer window ankasa no when you follow na numbers bi ba bontia any the activities na ekoso within the transfer window no what lessons na ye betimi asua film to improve your football no Ghana. And then we are going to do education. But let me start from something very, very trivial. Rich, in the last 2 days, both Gabi and Fifi have delved into one Laporta exclusive interview via Mundo Deportivo. So they've raised a lot of the issues I will discuss here within the interview. But on a Saturday morning, which says, Rich, Bakwa omuntachi on, which a trivia mami, but a interesting. A ora one Laporta, Asama Okafa Abrantia, your friend Lami Yamal, and in a party our year during the 18th birthday. Rich, these are some of the footages of Lami Yamal, the 18th birthday party our year. Na videos in the Babontina go for say, hey, now crack it with the 18 years. And now we are party na Emma. Any drinks in like nightclub settings in Newma. Hey, tell me, I'm saying, yeah, I'm saying the lifestyle in Tibono on Timim Bonko anymore. So, oh, share your Facebook. You have the opportunity to watch some of the videos. Robert Lewandowski die or Mutia Kotra party and I say Gavimo and some ladies here. Here too, Rebecca say exotic for an 18-year-old birthday. And for Omwa Omudi Bibiaba, they want to talk it from the moral point of view. Abeka say actually Lami Yamano Obi Empena on Tunafo. Say baby on a no. Or you're too young to host some of these parties. Rich, me farmer no too. Because me say, Dianka me the manu to my mechano. I'm sure you'll be tea about your work as a penny bonnet. It's man kebi. Rich, in the exclusive interview with Laporta, he was asked about Lami Yamal birthday party. Guess his answer. Oriya Feno, one Laporta, our the president of Barca, Rich essay. In some journey, Busa said, Lami Yamal birthday party. Sending a city and Comanco for deal, a found one. Onuna Jin say about the party. Rich, President Laporta Mananosoa, or say, me only regrets about party no, and it's a one party be.
Hasn't gone to be.
Or say invite in a buy. But no, or no, maybe yet. Now, who footage no? As she no, she party one could be.
Violence, papa. Laporta.
Na, omuye party no. Or come be at ya say, Lami Yamal about training. And he is training very, very well. And come on go for on tears yet. And now way now dabi. Or no need yet. The only regret about the party no. And he say, we nyamre anko party ni bi. Ashene papa. Nanka at least kodine fu be guna tare. Na ono so any meya kwako chiam. Then he went on to say, for Omu raising eyebrows about how exotic the party was. No? Or Kai Obi has a party, no, it was a private party. And yet for the public. It is all about you are public. Party, you are not invited. And you will be private party. Oh, yeah, ni secret venue. Onim the entire public discussion will be private party. Hey, and Africa, oh, Quebec a president near Abasha Bonnet. Oh, yeah, Basha Bonnet, pop. Now, who president now who play a quiet party say?
I'll be a come
I'll be a come was say,
oh, time grand cabinet.
Now, crap, no, see the media, but no who cross a mango. Na meeting interview na and I say just blame on come on the bar me team I say oh mama just na go fast mama be too cronim it's rich that is one Laporta on Lami Yamal and in the party no or say no say one co party ni bi. Now let's zoom into any main menu no me ba say me some small education bi enti Mr. Ayala follow with keen interest. Now we all want to learn one or two things. Me say what you are going to do now in the next 10 minutes and say we are going to learn activities now air cost from the transfer window. Everything be a AC umubiano. A chance for you how they do their football. And what are some of the lessons are? Yes, we are picking a few as we go along because we only hear the stories. Na Gabi Bano or stories, no. Na Ayala ni fifi mo be jono mo updates near there. But what are the lessons? How does it reflect on how emofono era ni omo football no and yebetimi apeke case studies be efimu na ye nyina ye dey atu ekotodwem as we learn about the football we are seeing now. Rich, first of all, some graphic here on tactical board you see. Transfer spending in summer 2025 by Premier League clubs. And the highest spender Liverpool 295.5. Then their own spending in the Premier League this summer Crystal Palace £3 million. Now this compilation was done by Sky Sports as at July 26th and up at 8:43 a.m. British Sound Media, there's no be any transfer via addition. And this data is so accurate and current. Now, Rich, first one. So for the first 5 clubs now, Liverpool, Chelsea, Manchester United, Arsenal, Manchester City. Then you add Tottenham Hotspur. Na wabasia. First of all, Rich. So over the last Premier League, boy. Na Osha Omo qualified to play in the Champions League. The only club I am missing in the top 5 is Newcastle. What it means is that majority of clubs are almost spending on Premier League. Which are those almost a 10-year results when you are league now. And I have always maintained, say, Rich, baby, a football beer, whether a mime, whether on the continent, whether a Uyasino, Rich and Pimpi, Omo muta invest in their clubs. Omo and omo muta resource. It is there a trend. Yeah, baby, it has always been so. There are some exceptions to it, but you don't know. Omo tend to invest in their club when it comes to resource and inside of mana. Omo and open resources so omunya. Number 2, Rich. Saoka figures from Liverpool, basic Crystal Palace now. Rich Premier League already. I spent 1.6 billion pounds in a transfer window. 1.6 billion pounds in the transfer window. Now, Argentina, Premier League way. Rich, Omu Sika to spend in the transfer window. Now, to put it in a proper perspective, live score, essay. So far, the open transfer spenders, highest. This is the list. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Top 5 in here. Now, Rich, in the top 5, number 1, Liverpool. Number 2, Chelsea. Number 3, Real Madrid. Number 4, Manchester United. Number 5, Man City. What it means is that in the top 5, Rich, there's only one foreign club. Real Madrid. English clubs now. What this data tells you when they say they have money. Now, English clubs no more scarcer. Rich, it is because of the commercialization of Omo League. And the league is so well commercialized. And the Sika league in him. And the ama every club will be a league in him. I was Sika to spend. And that is very, very important. I always say when I wouldn't say one time. No, yeah, have a by 11, 19 internet that's at the air to you say it's a coin, and say no marriage. If you are the idea to one and see, or the young coin. Now, Rich, the Premier League is so commercialized. Say, about Omo clubs and a lot of money to spend. That is the reason why. You may be a European summer transfer, no. Rich, what you realize they say, English teams, no, and they want to spend, and they buy more than anything. The second layer of the lessons, and they say, Rich, in Pempi, you're too concentrated on clubs, no. But the media is somehow silent on how clubs also make money, and everyone profits from players or motor from a club. For instance, in the last 3 seasons in here, Rich, who in particular, who didn't for? We've always been saying, and a Chelsea are spending 1 billion our transfer market, or must spend this money. But you've never mentioned how much Chelsea also are gaining from the transfer market. Now, Rich, you bring in this graphic. Kai Havertz from Chelsea to Arsenal, 65 million. Mason Mount from Chelsea to your own club, Manchester United, 58 million. Nancy Amato Noni Maduoke, Eddie Ama Arsenal, 47 million. Omuton and Matson, Emma Aston Villa, 39 million. Konoka, Atletico Madrid, 36 million. I am not here to even list all the Chelsea transfers of mine in the last 3 seasons. But Rich, just this 5. Look at figures in the bomber. It's around 250 million. And what I want us to also learn and say the transfer window home come. In Pempini, we are so obsessed about clubs and it's to transfer for players. But Rich, football business, back at the back scenes, you see them also selling some players for good money to balance Omubuku. And it's a club of Ghana. Now, if you are monitoring the international transfer market, to learn any lessons from it, that is why I always get worried about Kotokone has when they tend to lose players for free. Because, Rich, look at this picture. Never situations are not some of these players. Chelsea, we would have terminated their contract and let them go. Obi say in Madison.
Yeah. No Jimmy Mo.
When you Chelsea Pabia and Bobiasa. But look, they were able to get as far as almost 40 million from him. Shetayu Mana Messi Mount every Chelsea akono.
Prepare
O prepare me mobiem, mama misikeso, mama misikeso. Ghana ayetime di gomo so. Yesi kotoko na sa house player bi say o pesike bi. Yesi yenya man interest adia. Ya terminate the contract ya maneko. So you learn lessons from these pictures. Then you say oh, Charlie, your class no. Anytime Biana, your concentration is on players akwakoto maba. Sometimes there are even unwanted players in your camp. Manage the situation well.
Sure, be this Noni. Noni Madoke, or an integral member of the Chelsea team.
Yes.
Scandal, look, every team there down and let him go.
Yes.
Cash.
Because we in the department, you know, it's covered. Ain't no problem. Now they've made almost 50 million from the sales, you know. And today is one also big lesson, sir. You met me SCF film. Now, Rich, link to this. Link to the. See, I'm discussing. Manchester or US training tour and Ruben Amorim ekoye interview the soldier field Rich okobie na no a o say Johnny ni busa na say mobile US man for players bi a Jim Ratcliffe tell me as the bomb squad man for man to koy amba na sa players no omu situation and the same na say eno man ko say na wo say kwa how na wo manager no wo fa wa adwene say wo be deal with the situation. Rich players ben ye kan wasem ye ka Anthony, Jadon Sancho, Garnacho, Tala Malaysia, those unwanted players are Manchester United. And now me know ka say Manchester are US, but these players are Carrington are area training. Rich, when was sama Amorim kokai? Amorim say, no crack. Those players no. And you may see and say no. Ama Manchester United and no makoben come say, Omunya baby omunko. And untino, the India Manchester ejo mu ofie. And they say, Ombeso mu master players in space. Na omuntimi fan yini baby ombeso omoko. Na omu situation bi to address her. Omo fini de ebia agent afọ yenko hia we yeni nkomo club we aba ohuni sai na omunya ntobase no mo fanka name no Rich, and that is why it is important. Amorim say onimpasa clubs bi o ha omo pesa players no but omo man say omo mbasisi yi omo twan ya akasa tata de la ne beba no because omunim say Manchester United and pesa players no Manchester ho be pire omo say omo beton players no kete ama omo na de ono Amorim no be ka kire wiase nyina ne say onim ni CEO Omar Barada and onim ni director of football IFN no workers omo numbers as in price omo be so mo toss our bomb squad for no whether obebe there and now over deadline day one for say sika number onu Amorim no waka che no ho say players no say transfer window no kwa awiye na omo anya baby anko he will welcome them back into the team na ade e se ni nkran ne say ye ba bewrami Rich a season a ye ba bebo na obi ade passport e won the national team dey World Cup. And for instance obi se Garnacho onye Argentina be ko World Cup se obi a ma metono na se oka Manchester United da obi make sure say ni money na nya bia bo Manchester United se na bia obeka Argentina squad no san all the other players no eso empese omo be enti ono no de oka kire wiase nyina say omo to mutirim Manchester are not going to sell those players cheap just because they've declared them unwanted. Another lesson, Rich. Another big lesson. The fact that situation be Emma players be very redundant in your team doesn't mean say you don't need to have a clear marketing around those players. Put value on them based on omu profile, omu age. Like I say, a woman say ebia yempe Michael Jamina. But at least I want to see a team in your 50,000 Ghana cedis be on the home.
Then is say Obi say something Eduku. Eduku from Kotoko was join Gold Stars or champions.
Yes.
It's yeah, wasn't it not make coffee.
It would you say Senka Kotoko. Anyen ye. And a omu kipi omanu din. And a omu packaging say oh Eduku kwaya panel. And anka every omu so baby and Gold Stars panel oh frag because you don't ya just a mope some say Eduku. Oh you bet me na mamo. Odi say we kwa de ya njemo kese. Odi Eduku de ye ton say. And I see a fan a kaka crab near born who they for bear 50,000 be black. Yeah, the neighbor mouth. You get 500 million out of that player. Cool. And that is what Amorin is doing. And the normal circumstances rich. Chanke Ghana ha. And the coach so players from where surplus to requirements. Yampe and she a crumb also make the me and family home a your money or more. Amorin see that be. Oh, your mom space or money. But yen to cheap. And so, based on the numbers of the CU, I will welcome them and I will tell them, say, so join on national team, play what I will play you at Manchester United, and the team will be very, very competitive. And to reach, that is another lesson that we can learn from the transfer market. My last one, and you know, Rich, Bayern Munich. You say, they be a castle same way. Uko Germany, Rich, I'm proud of the Bavarians, but there seems to be in a situation where I say shock kakrebi, Rich ewo muhu. Yen form FC Hollywood for fun. There's a reason, and it is the biggest in Germany and one of the biggest in the world. And now we know can say who read Germany could now call Bayern Rich what they are discussing. I say Omuja or friend Thomas Muller Quine. But Rich, deep within them, they are worried. The angel we are worried, you know, and they say, Rich, so what observe ya? As a Bayern team, you know, the attraction come from. The way Bayern used to be attractive. From and it's also determine how club are attractive back during transfer market. How players willingly want to go and play our club no. Rich at the end American wants them this summer and Kabayan the omu tradition and they say play be PM our Germany. Nanka oye German. The first priority is to play for team friend Bayern Munich. Nasa Wasaya, one of the most sensational young talent crowd here. And then Bayern at 20 crowd. But Rich, Bayern calls on more foreign vet.
In fact,
Omuchi Omenino, not foreign vet, Papa. And in the bush of form, Eddie Brent and Onkomo had traveled to England to meet Man City in Liverpool. Within a few weeks, Omaton, foreign vet, and Yamal Liverpool. Omantona, my Bayern. Then they say, okay, no problem. Omni Leroy Sani will team him. Bayern never considered to sell Leroy Sani. They even wanted to extend the contract of Leroy Sani. Rich, Omutia Leroy Sani said, Bayern Mim Bobium. And Bobium, no, Eviana Club Papa Bisebi.
No, call Galatasaray.
What's me call take? Me call Galako Bobo. Rich, Leroy Sani call Gala. Na as Bayern Elko winger be replacing na almost okay your first one Nico William. The man Nico extending the contract Emma team a friend Bilbao no. Say Barcelona man guarantees me boy. But did he need the guarantees at Bayern? No.
The Bayern was cut.
Almost cut they can register you like any problem cry. And Nico I say at a point didn't want Bayern. He only wanted Barca. And the engineer Suntia or extending the contract to Bilbao. And so Barca are money guarantees. Those guarantees he didn't need them at Bayern. And so Bayern. What it means they say Nico didn't want to join Bayern. And that is a big one. I didn't see that for Mbet Amber. Nico Wamba. Now the third one. Jamie Simons for RB Leipzig in the German Bundesliga. Rich, Bayern show more penny giddy. And I don't pay. You see, oh, Chelsea are advanced to cry. And baby, I'm coming club to club, any personal terms. Chelsea are almost gone. Rich, Xavi Simons also. It's not joining Bayern Munich. A player in the Bundesliga, Bayern Sope, Bayern El Lucino to club and friendly Chelsea. But there's a certain respite for Bayern in Abante friendly Luis Diaz. And the simple reason why Bayern Benja Luis Diaz again is because Rich, Barcelona is out of the competition. Barca needs to out the compete Bayern. And Abante don't want to leave Liverpool. Liverpool the kind at a bid of 67.5 echoe. Liverpool and J. I'm say Bayern for music and Isa. And I pay entire and say Bayern Edda so any Liverpool aging como about Luis Diaz and Enchebia in the coming days. Almost second bid ever call for Abante FN Luis Diaz and every on the car this time around almost able to medical just Liverpool will sell him. And they've already planned say so told Luis Diaz say Kim. She came on mania from Luis Diaz Biano. They are taking it to Real Madrid. Aqua Copa was the goals. And they are about to replace Abrantia. Your friend Luis Diaz. And Rich, buying attraction echo from and buying supporters are minimum to say Zigamone na pe Emone Makatimo or Sans Pharmacy.
Company result not the moment.
Company own.
I think so.
Yes, me know I just said sometimes your coach or attractive big boys or like Nimunye do giddy. But can they look beyond company and say this is Bayern Munich? Yeah, I think so there's something
who look beyond Vincent Company now. The kind of result no they ma Bayern. So we Luis Diaz now you might challenge some numbers, you know. But the result no they ma Bayern. Ebiana Mbwami as Luis Diaz.
And what you do say?
Maybe he might not be big coach, but result knows what they might buy and so okay, on your big. But result no he's doing what? Ebian cannot grab it to me.
I understand you and Unim say even with the company as Samina Rich, Bayern had to fall on company because other coaches also rejected Bayern.
Wow.
Thomas Tuchel rejected Bayern. Because no more pen back. Don't see there be Xabi Alonso, former player of the club, had to wait in the Bundesliga for Real Madrid. Sometimes Bayern want to come or gidi sometime in Xabi Alonso get to my come fan. Was it Debbie me try never Real Madrid now he's at Real Madrid. I think it goes beyond Vincent Company. There is something now
because
about
Kamuobi. Abba. Bayern no
it would just say probably one day we will have time and discuss it, but observation here menya and then Saturday obviously you go see cafe to my fa into one you celebrate Black Queens and minimum I'm sorry I'm playing voice NC because I shouted because I was very happy for your Black Queens and I said you have to post 3 better goals Mr. J na FIA wa the next Saturday tabet 21C DF 1F7 21C DF 1F7 21C E0 EBA and the last one no 21C E2 0C7 into 21C E2 0C7 21C E0 EBA 21C DF 1F7 3 bet we ko sere Saturday fa na efa etwa bet ni bi na ye nyina ye enwini embom Rich